Alrighty, good morning everybody. It is Wednesday, January 29th, 2025. We have the FOMC announcement this afternoon. Let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what happened yesterday. Guys, again, I say it freaking every day, but so many beautiful opportunities yesterday. Let's go back and take a look at what happened here. Just to kind of note right where we're bouncing from right now to the tick off the roadmap level. I was waiting for the market to pull back to 78.25, not only because it was the 50% line, but if you look back, and I just wanted to kind of point out what I was about to get in, or why I was about to get in. If you go back, give me a second here. If you go back, well, let's zoom it out. As the market was pulling back from, again, the major gap zone we were talking about yesterday, there's this swing right here at 78.25 or 79.25, whatever, 78.25. And I noticed as we were pulling back here that we were going to basically be coming right into that swing. For all intents and purposes, I'm arguing that's kind of naked there. We had 50% of the previous week. And we had the roadmap level itself, which we know has an incredible edge. So I was expecting to get long here at 78.25, but it bounced off the roadmap level to the tick at 78.75. And as you can see now, we basically have a double bottom, and we're getting potentially a change in trend here as we break this little micro swing high. But that was where I wanted to get long here this morning, and I missed out by 2 ticks. Would have been up here almost 10 points already. So pretty cool. Let's go back to yesterday. And again, like I said, yesterday it's pretty much every day, but yesterday had some really, really, really good opportunities again. And it was kind of a rare morning where I was a lot more active trading with Kevin on Twitch. And we got some really good trades off. Now, I'm not telling you I'm getting long before I get long, because a lot of the time I'm looking for setups that are happening in a microsecond, right? So I see something, and within a microsecond of seeing it, I'm activating the trade. So it's hard for me to call a trade when I'm quite literally waiting for one small little thing, and then bam, I'm hitting the button. So looking, coming into the open, we were talking about expecting the market to continue to push, especially as they pulled back coming into the open here, if they could hold from 50% of the previous day. Well, what was the low of the day? 50% of the previous day here, right? They ducked into it, and then that was the low of the day, and they pushed all the way back up. And we'll just kind of scroll out here right to the gap zone where I told you 61.05 half is our roadmap level. It's right at the beginning of the gap. And so if they come up here, this is the beginning of expected resistance, and that was the high of the day. So we came right to it, came to our roadmap level to the tick, and pulled back at the end of the day. So again, just unbelievable price action. But let's look at some of the trades I nailed here. As it pulled back in the open here, first real notable roadmap level to me was 60.46, right? And it held to the tick. I got in. I don't think I even took a tick of risk, maybe two ticks, and then got a little scalp. But as you can see, we didn't get follow through from there for the push back to the overnight high. And so I only got a scalp off, and then it started to sell off. And that's when I started to get bearish, looking for short trades down to 50% of the previous day. And you can see here, a couple scalps, first of all, nailing the high of this little area right here with a bunch of bearish divergence. There was a lot of volatility to the downside, so I felt comfortable taking more aggressive trades here. Again, bearish divergences off these highs. Entered here, got a scalp, came back, entered again. Then I entered here. I got 2 points out of that one, and it came back, so just got a 2-pointer. And then when we came into the 50% area, first of all, big bullish divergence, 1 tick in front of that roadmap level. And then we stepped up and pulled back right off the roadmap level above. So when it pulled back to 50% of the previous day, which we know has a really good edge, I saw the bullish divergence as we were testing it. I didn't get filled to the tick off the level. I got filled about 2 or 3 ticks above there. and then got a really nice long trade off. And then from there, so I basically got in long within a point or two of the low of the day, right? And then from there, the market pushed for, I don't even know how many points here, right? We're talking from 60, 20 something all the way up to that 61.05. So a nearly 80-point push, right? So here's another example of getting in with about 2 ticks of risk, and the market pushed 80 points by the end of the day, never came back. So I'm telling you, this is reality. If you can nail this stuff and you have runners, you're going to make money. It's just you have to control the risk and the risk that you're taking. You have to know when to step away when you're emotionally charged, and be aware of your emotions when you're trading, so you know when to step away when you start to think, start to go off the rails, right? So there's the break. And then if you missed the long that I took, look at this. Beautiful pullback to the tick to the next roadmap level where you could have entered. Now, and this had a nice bullish divergence, and it touched the roadmap level to the tick, and then again never came back. So if you got in there, you still got almost 80 points to the upside with no risk. You got another opportunity off the 200 here a little bit later. So pretty much every pullback to the roadmap levels held, and you could have got in on the rotation and nailed the entire push. So again, great opportunity down there. As you can see, really aggressive push all the way up, only to fail right around Hopel. So good short right here. But what they hold on the pullback. Another long opportunity going in the direction of this trend. Big bullish divergence off the previous daily close. How much risk? About 3 ticks, maybe a point. And then you got the next pop. Kept going. You did have a bullish divergence on this tag of your fast moving average as we pushed up. Might have been hard to have conviction because we were testing the roadmap level up above. But there was some bullish divergence. Again, shallow pullback in a strong aggressive move. You got the next pop. Now notice where we came to just about an hour or two after the open. Another beautiful short opportunity to the tick off the next major roadmap level, which was the 50% level, and the roadmap level to the tick, right? So that's probably, never mind. Pull back from there, bearish divergence. Again, you nailed the top of the move and got the pullback right to the next expected support where it bounced again. So you guys, can clearly see here that if you just nail a couple rotations in here and you have a runner for when it does follow through, you should be able to get in with nearly zero risk. We'll say 2 points, 2.5 points max, and you can get moves that go tens to hundreds of points. So again, buying on the pullback into the roadmap level here, or off the 200 to the tick with a big bullish divergence. Again, getting in, no risk at all, assuming you got filled because it came to the tick, and then you got that next pop. And notice all the trouble they had right at the roadmap level here, right? They got above there, and then you had a long opportunity off that level that was resistance for that however long, 20, 30 minutes. So again, pulls back into the level, breaks it by a point, 1.5 points, and you get that pop. So you should have been able to get yourself almost 10 points. Again, this would have been my target, and I would have told you guys to take profit maybe a point, 1.5 points in front. So whether you got filled on that exit, hard to say, right? Because they just failed 2 points, less than 2 points in front of it. Now on the pullback here, now we have some great short opportunities as we make this high of the day. Long opportunity off the 200, just didn't quite get anywhere. You should have been able to get a 2-point scalp, which is really the first thing I look for. So it would have got a winning trade, but then rolled over, wouldn't have gotten anything else out of it. And then it started to, you got your crossover of the 2 moving averages, and then you could have faded the back end of the roadmap level here with almost no risk, or right there, and got in. It was a very aggressive sell-off. So if you were aggressive, you took the roadmap level short, again, 1.5 points at risk, brought you right to the next roadmap level for the bounce where you should have took your profit. Again, giving yourself nearly 10 points to the downside. And then what happens? We bounce and fail back and forth between the 2 roadmap levels. So you had opportunity to buy the level and short the level, and that's what I did here when I got back to the charts at 1140. I noticed we were pushing right into the roadmap level. The 200 moving average was right at the same level. And as we pushed up into it, I saw this potential divergence forming. So I put the contract on at the roadmap level to the tick, nailed the entry. Didn't even take a tick. Oh, I took a tick of risk. So that's good because it came up and filled me, pushed through it by one tick, and came right to where I would want to exit and bounced. And then did that for nearly 3 or 4 times here. Again, seeing all the bulls hold from the roadmap level. And then finally, we get the next big push out, where on the push out, you got yourself a number of really low risk trade opportunities off the roadmap level. So we pull back to the first one and hold it. You pull back off that. That's a bearish setup. Good little scalp for 3-4 points down, maybe even 3-4 points, and then holds for a long opportunity off the FMA. Bullish divergence, breaks it by one tick, and then keeps pushing in the direction of this breakout. So these long opportunities, 1, 2, and then the third one, I guess, would be the most aggressive off the FMA. You should have been making money on every single one, and you didn't even take a half a point of risk. So again, it's just like really, really good stuff, guys. You're not going to find this anywhere else. Entries that are sometimes less than a tick or two, and then they go for tens or hundreds of points, right? So they come up and notice the next major push in the market finds resistance at the next major roadmap level, where we get the pullback to the 200. Okay, and then it bounces out. Now, it didn't hit the 200 here. It missed it by 3 ticks. So I wouldn't have gotten filled on that if I tried it, but it did make a double bottom, bounced 2 or 3 ticks in front of the 200 with bullish divergence, and that led to the next breakout. And if you were looking to get long in the breakout and you didn't take it from in front of the 200, you had the perfect opportunity because it pulled back as it broke out to new highs, pulled back to the old high where there's a roadmap level. It broke it by 2 ticks with some bullish divergence and then pushed to the high, almost to the high of the day again. So you had an opportunity to buy the roadmap level once the breakout occurred to the new high, and then the pullback to the roadmap level here on the way up, right? And then we got up to this new high. This is one of the rare instances where we got a pretty good, naked high swing in the market that wasn't off a roadmap level, right? Just, I would call that in the middle of nowhere. And then we started getting a pullback, and on the pullback, you had your short opportunities off the FMA and the roadmap level at 94. This one did go through by almost 2 points. It was 94.75. It went to 96.25. So almost a 2-point break. Shouldn't have been stopped out. And you got yourself the pullback to the next roadmap level, where basically we got the bounce, right? It did push through a little bit. So you should have been able to get out with, again, 5, 6, 7 points to take the profit in case it bounced. And then it did bounce. And then finally, let's just zoom this out. We get the push all the way up, and this was just so damn freaking sexy. We come all the way up. Again, on the push up, pulls back to the 200, 1 tick in front of the roadmap level, some bullish divergence, and then pushes all the way out to come right to the high of the day, which was what? 61.05 half, our roadmap level to the tick. So the high of yesterday was our roadmap level to the tick. The low of yesterday was our roadmap level within a couple of ticks, 2 ticks, right? The low of the day here, there's the major roadmap level. It's about 2 ticks in front. Holds that, pushes all the way out, pulls back to the major scaffolding, and then comes all the way up to there. And that was the gap zone, right? This is right where the gap started, and it pushed up somewhere, I forget, somewhere up here. So they came right to the back end of the gap zone. I warned you about that. Big bearish divergence on the test of the previous daily high and the roadmap level. Great short opportunity. If you shorted, you got yourself way more than 10 points to the downside to get to the first roadmap level where you would have got filled for 10 points and then finally pull back just a little deeper at the end of the day. to come into the next roadmap area. So, you know, I don't know where else you're going to find this type of system. The tough part about it is that you're gonna take on losses, so you need to know when to step away. If you take 2 or 3 losses in a row, just call it a day. Come in the next day, you're gonna get lucky on a rotation. You don't want to dig yourself a big hole, so it's best to just walk away. That's what I've learned. You know, especially after 2 good losses, just step away. We're gonna have mornings like this where me and Kevin come in and basically win every single trade. I think Kevin took 1 loser, and then basically this trade was a loser, but I did take profit out of it right here. So, you know, that's going to be where you make your money on the really good mornings, and then mornings where you're just kind of getting frustrated and none of the setups that usually work are working, walk away. Control your risk. So that was how the cookie crumbled yesterday. Again, it seems like almost every day we have these perfect rotations, just like this morning, where just when I started the broadcast, they bounced to the tick and are now rejecting, oh my God, this is insane, right off the next roadmap level with a bearish divergence. So, I mean, I rest my case. There's nothing better for the S&P 500 to get into trades with almost no risk and potentially catch a 50-point push, right? So let's go ahead and jump up to the higher time frames. Go ahead and start the new recording here.